We need to find out the value of the given trigonometric expression. Let us begin. First, what we'll do, we will try to find out the value of each of the given trigonometric ratio. We will begin with sine negative 420 degrees. Now, we are going to use a fact that whenever we have sine negative theta, that corresponds to negative sine theta, meaning sine negative 420 degrees can be also expressed as negative sine 420 degrees. Now we will going to rewrite 420 degrees. So we can rewrite it as 5 times 90 degrees. So 5 times 90, that's 450 degrees. But we have exceeded 20 degrees by 30 degrees. We're going to subtract 30 degrees from it. The reason why we have expressed 420 degrees in terms of a multiple of 90, now we have an odd multiple of 90. So whenever we have an odd multiple of 90, then sine was going to change to cosine. So we already have a negative sign, so we are going to get cosine 30 degrees. Now we'll also have to look in which quadrant 420 angle lies. So let's find it out. Since we have expressed 420 in terms of multiple of 90, we have 5 times 90, meaning we are in the first, second, third, fourth, fifth. So fifth quadrant actually corresponds to quadrant number 1. Also, we're subtracting 30 degree from it, but 30 degree is a very small angle lying between 0 and 90 degree. So we're still going to lie in the first quadrant. And in the first quadrant, all trigonometric functions are positive. So we're going to get positive of negative cosine 30 degree. That gives us negative cosine 30 degree, that's square root of 3 over 2. So this is going to be the value of sine negative 420 degrees. Let's find out the value of cosine 390 degrees using the same technique. Now 319 degrees, that can be broken down as 4 times 90 degrees. So that's 360 degrees. But we are short of 30 degrees to reach 90 degrees. We're going to add 30 degrees to it. Fine. So now we have cos an even multiple of 90 degrees. So whenever we have an even multiple of 90 degrees, then cosine is going to remain as cosine, and we're going to have cosine 30 degrees. So let's see in which quadrant we are lying. So 390 corresponds to 4 times 90. So 4 times 90 means 1, 2, 3, 4. We are in the fourth quadrant. But we are also adding 30 degrees to it. So adding 30 degrees to it, we are going to move to the first quadrant. So since we are in the first quadrant, that means all trigonometric functions are going to be positive, and cosine 30, that's simply square root of 3 over 2. So we've obtained the value of cosine 390 degree as well. So let's try to find out the value of cosine negative 660 degrees. Cosine of negative 660 degrees. Here we are going to use the fact that cosine of negative theta, that corresponds to positive cosine theta, which means we can rewrite cosine of negative 660 degrees also as cosine of 660 degrees. Fine. Now cosine, we know that's 7 times 90 degrees, so that's 630 degrees. But we're still short of 30 degrees to reach 660. So we're going to add 30 degrees to it. Now here we have an odd multiple of 90 degrees. So cosine must convert to sine. So we have sine 30 degree. Now let's check in which quadrant the angle 660 lies. So we have 7 times 90. That means we are in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now that means we are in the third quadrant. The seventh quadrant, the value 7 corresponds to the third quadrant. But we are also adding 30 degrees to it, which is going to take us to the fourth quadrant. So that means actually we are in the fourth quadrant. And the fourth quadrant, cosine and secant are positive. Everything else is negative. So we're going to get a positive value. Here, don't get confused with the final value that we're getting sine 30 here. That should be negative. No. We are actually concerned about the function that we started. We started off with cosine function, and whatever value we get, that value is going to be positive because cosine gives us a positive value in the fourth quadrant. So that means we have positive sine 30, and this gives us a value half. Fine. And let's find out the final value. We're going to find out the value of sine 330 degrees. So 330 degrees can be also expressed as sine 4 multiplied to 90 degrees. So that's 360. We're going to subtract 30 degrees from it to get 330 degrees. Now we have an even multiple of 90. So we're going to get sine 30 degrees. So sine remains as sine. So we are in the fourth quadrant. So in the fourth quadrant, but again we are also subtracting 30 degrees from it, but 38 degree is lying between 0 and 90 degrees, so we are still going to lie in the fourth quadrant. So in the fourth quadrant, cosine and secant are positive. So let's look at the original function, that's the sine function. So this is going to give us a negative value. Sine 30 is half, so we're going to get negative half. Now we have the values of all the four trigonometric ratios. Now we're going to substitute these values into our original problem. So let's do that. We're going to substitute these values, and this is going to give us, we have negative square root of 3 over 2 multiplied to positive square root of 3 over 2 added to positive half times negative half, which will be equals to negative 3 over 4 minus 1 over 4. And the final result is going to be negative 1. That means the value of the given trigonometric expression is negative 1.